Hey, welcome back to the Pack Room Rep Show. My name is Chris Wong Swinson. This is episode 7 of the Pack Room Rep Show, and I want to share with you this. So this is something that actually Woodstone shared with us. It is very eye-opening. It's at shift4.com/situation. I'll link this in the description below. But well, not kind of, it actually does collect a lot of POS systems all over the country. And it'll actually tell you how businesses are down just by looking at all the different transactions. The economic impact of COVID-19. As the leading payment processor for the hospitality industry, Shift4 is in a unique position to assess the economic impact of COVID-19 on restaurant, bars, hotels, and various other business types across the country. Shift4 securely processes over 3.5 billion transactions annually for more than 200,000 businesses nationwide, including over 21,000 hotels and over 125,000 restaurants, representing over $200 billion in payment volume in 2019. These merchants range in size from the largest global hotel chains to single location restaurants. Given the scale of our payment platform, we felt the responsibility to show how the circumstances related to the COVID-19 pandemic have impacted businesses across the country. It is our hope that the availability of this data will encourage the U.S. government to act on behalf of the country's business community and provide the desperately needed relief that these industries now require. So this was last updated today at 11:32 a.m. And it's data up to and including for 2020. So state by state impact on hospitality transaction volumes. It's all red. Red, the more impact. Like California over here, Hawaii's down here. Hawaii negative 90% restaurants, negative 97% hotel transactions, negative 62% in other industries. Very, very bad. Very bad. Overall industry impact week of February 2nd as compared with last 7 days. So you hear overall in the whole country in America is restaurants is down like negative 71% in transactions, negative 96% in hotels, all other industries negative 63%. So you can see the trend here starting in March as it goes. It's pretty good and then starts just gradually declining to a little here. Although other industries still has some impact on it, but at least less so than the restaurant and hotel industry. So this is in a way for you to understand how COVID-19 is affecting the business in your community. You can have a little zip code search about that. So let's just say 96817, restaurants down 80%, Honolulu, other industries down a negative 77%. And I'm thinking if I want to go Waikiki, that's a hotels a negative 88%. It's pretty big. It's pretty big in that area. And I mean, you can see it. You can go outside and see it. But to get through a little bit of just understanding amounts, not every transaction is paid by the POS systems. It could still be transaction through cash as well. That's not in here, but for the most part, it can give you a kind of an idea around how the rest of the country is faring during this whole COVID-19 epidemic. And I think this is just really eye-opening. It's great information, and it's available for anyone in the public to go. So that's at shift4.com/situation. Okay, now I want to share with you in a little bit kind of adding to what I said in the last video about how China was reopening, right? Well, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal. It's kind of a pay to look at it, so I'm glad Yashar Ali was able to bring it out and bring out the key components of what some of the things South Korea is doing to reduce the spread of coronavirus. This is really interesting. It does include some food service, but it gets you thinking about other areas as well. Diners in restaurants must be seated in a zigzag. Wow, interesting. Hotel rooms must be ventilated for 15 minutes after travelers check out. People will be required to sanitize their hands before entering stores. That's not a real big one. I mean, I still see supermarkets and stores that already provide that before this whole COVID-19. Churches, gyms, restaurants, and bars must keep records of people attending to help with contact tracing. That's a little bit more difficult. It's very difficult, and it's going to take a certain person to kind of do that. Weddings and funerals require a prevention officer who takes temperatures and monitors systems. And I'm thinking that prevention officer, that new job title, could also probably be the person keeping records of the people attending to help with contact tracing as well. So um, uh, be aware of that. Shouting is discouraged so droplets don't travel. Singing is discouraged in churches for the same reason. That's crazy. That's something that is. I mean, I think if you have a mask on, you should be okay with shouting and singing. Although you definitely you'll be definitely muffled. But I can see how that could be problematic in like churches. Karaoke's and other like bars with karaoke machines, bands and musicians. It's going to be very difficult for that to kind of comprehend at this point in time. But definitely that is something. Some of the things that South Korea is looking at. Temperatures are taking in national parks, hiking locations. That's very difficult, especially with open parks. Like if there was an entrance that someone could stand by, sure. But a lot of places, especially in Hawaii, I don't think we have the operations to have someone there all the time. So that's something that may be too far fetched, but it's definitely something like South Korea is thinking. And if South Korea is thinking, and there's probably other countries that may be thinking about that as well. And it will depend on your state what they are going to do this post COVID-19, this post lockdown. What type of things that you want to keep from spreading coronavirus. And if you know, let me know down in the comments below. List it out for me what your state is doing to reduce the spread of coronavirus or what your country is doing. I'm very interested and intrigued to see what you guys have in mind. Now, the National Restaurant Association, yes, the NRA show is canceled for this year. It's going to resume probably next year. And so we won't be able to go this year, unfortunately. I mean, this I was very much looking forward to going to Chicago, but that's not going to happen now. But they did put this out, and then the link to this PDF file is in the description below for you to check out. This is a reopening guidance for COVID-19. It's a guide for the restaurant industry, okay? And in here, you can browse through it. It tells you what different things, different methods that could get you ready to reopen, and things that this is more of a guideline. You probably don't have to, depending on your county, your country, or your state. It will all depend on that. But if you go through this, you may be able to pick up a few things in here that could help you out and keep your employees safe as well as your customers as well. There's a lot of things from food safety, cleaning and sanitizing, employee health monitoring and personal hygiene, and also social distancing guidelines. Lots of stuff that I've said before in my other videos, so go ahead and check that out as well. Different requirements of the food code that apply to coronavirus mitigation, like prohibiting sick employees in the workplace. We kind of knew that. We've already, it's going to be even more so, I think. Strict hand washing practices, strong procedures and practices to clean and sanitize surfaces, ensuring the person in charge of the food services facility is a certified food safety manager, ensuring this person in charge is on site at all times during operating hours. Things like this. It's very It's very cool to look at. A lot of things I could take notes of. A lot of things that it's a good like check marks for people in the industry to kind of just hone into thinking about what to do, or even right now, even preparing what to do before your state or your country gives out the gives out you can go opening up your country and state orders and taking away the stay-at-home orders rather, and it would be something to actually right now while you're sitting at home, while you're going to your closed-up restaurant, perhaps just cleaning and stuff. These were things you should be able to prepare and should do things with. There are certain things that I want to highlight that's very interesting, like remove lemons and unwrap straws from self-service drink stations. I know of some places like even Hawaii, we were trying to get rid of the straw wrapper, right? We were trying to get rid of a lot of this things as wasteful stuff, right? And now it's kind of coming back. So it's interesting to see that. Interesting to see where our goals as a state may be going into the other direction because we need to keep sanitary. We need to keep clean. We don't want to transfer germs accidentally touching straws or other items on the table or in the condiments and things like that. There's going to be a lot of that, and even down to the minute level that you'll be shocked to see. You'll definitely be looking at this like I would have never thought of that unless this COVID-19 has happened. So there's going to be a lot of things like that as well. Make hand sanitizer ready available to guests, maybe tabletop hand sanitizers, but we have to consider touchless hand sanitizing solutions. And there is a hand washing solution I have after this little article here, or PDF rather. So there's also some on social distancing, how to update your floor plans, to have that 6 feet of separation. A lot of check mark things in here that I've been talking about as well, but it's now on a piece of paper, now in a complete PDF from the NRA that you could hone in on and capture that. There's also some nice little visual details to show you what is probably the things you should really grab onto, grasp, and try to really figure out where do you need to go about reopening and how you should go about reopening your food service or your customer's food service rather. So if you're a dealer, these are some of the things your customers may be looking at to get guidance from you. So be sure you are familiar with what needs to help them reopen after post lockdown. So one of the things that could potentially help us with after post lockdown is we need some hand washing stations. And so and not every place, there's not every place in the kitchen where you can just throw a sink on. Maybe you need to put this out in the front of the house. Maybe you need to put this outside. Maybe you have one of those outdoor, you want to switch over to it like an outdoor concept because it's not contained. You don't have to worry about the air condition. Just trying to bring that back, that COVID-19 or bacteria or any of those germs across the air when anybody sneezes if they're not wearing a mask. So an outdoor concept might be even better. And what a better way to have outdoor concept is to get a mobile hand washing station here from Dynex, from CFS brand. So hand washing is one of the best ways to protect yourself from illness. Dynex offers 2 mobile hand washing station designs that can be used in healthcare, education, or any other applications that require frequent hand washing. Again, available in 2 versions. Durable stainless steel is easy to clean and sanitary. You can do up to 70 hand washes. It's 2 5-gallon freshwater tanks with 2.5-gallon water heater. There's also touchless operations. Battery operated faucet paired with a Sanjamar hybrid electronic dispenser collection. Either your soap dispenser or your towel dispenser can be touchless. And that's probably the big goal from here on out. So here are the details for those 2 stations with the model numbers available. I'll link this in the description in the link below. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time.